into something I have not ever done, and I got the inkling to do it yesterday, and so I'm going to do it today. And that is an impromptu live stream of just being in the office checking on some bugs after dark. I was doing this yesterday, and I was just barely didn't do it yesterday. I felt like I should get to bed. So we're gonna actually go into some cultures. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just leave this over here, and I might hop on the Discord really quick and just, well, we got 2 people watching, so maybe I don't need to hop on the Discord and tell people that I'm streaming, because maybe it'll just happen. Wow, Kyle content. Yeah, crazy, huh? So anybody there is looking at the people in the Discord or is on the Discord, feel free to tell them for me, I guess. Whatever, people want to see this now. OMG, it's Kyle. Okay, we got a couple people in here. Wow, a bunch of people. Sweet. All right, yeah. Well, we're doing some after hours content here. I'm gonna open up some cultures again, something I don't usually do. I did husbandry through here pretty recently, and the room's looking pretty tidy, so I feel comfortable doing it. I want to make sure presentation's good on things, but so if there's something in the office somebody wants to see the culture. Hello, Rod Sprague and everybody who popped up. Since I'm live streaming, the chats don't stick around forever. They pop up and then they disappear. So Alex saying that Repticon was pretty bad. That's unfortunate. I kind of want you to know I am absolutely destined to get a Gumper in the next 1 to 2 years because of you. Oh, there's some weird there's a glitch with the chat where it's showing text all overlaid with each other, but Martial Arachnids, they're Nazig and Victor. Yeah, they're wonderful dogs, if even just as pets and not. Kyle, I need to email you tomorrow. I can't tonight, I'm too tired. I will be getting back to emails tomorrow, but I gotta take a step away from all this formalities stuff. Victor made me fall in love. Oh, this is so weird. The chats are getting like piled on top of each other. It's very distracting, actually. So I'm gonna do my best to like read what's going on there, but it's a little difficult, guys. So if I didn't answer something that you wanted to see shown off or something, just repost it. Hopefully this will. Oh, it's only getting worse, guys. I gotta apologize. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read any of the comments unless somebody knows how to fix that that visual glitch. The comments are just becoming a sandwich of like text overlaid on top of other text. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I can do any of these things. What does this do? That is definitely not what I wanted to press. Yeah, so I apologize. I cannot actually read any of the live stream chats. It's just all the text is being layered on top of each other, and I can't actually read anything. But we're having a bit of a roach rave, apparently. I might have some fun with these effects later. This is actually really great for these Gromphorida portentosa. Show Big Beetle, a super chat. All right, I can do that. I'll find the biggest beetle that's in here, actually. Nazik and Victor must have just heard something outside. Let's see, can I turn that off? Okay, there we go. All right, so close that out. No, I don't want to stop streaming. I want to close out the fancy effects. So it seems, guys, only super chats are coming through because they're super chats. And Orang Mango wants us to look at the biggest beetle that's in this room, and I got to think about that. Because it would have an orange tag on it if it's labeled. We got the biggest beetle, I guess, the Euphoria Monticola. We can check that out. Trying to see what else in here is pretty big. Let's see. This is all the springtails. We can probably take a look at some springtail cultures in a second here. But yeah, sorry guys, I cannot actually see regular chats. This isn't even a gimmick to try and get money or something. It's like it's all the text is layered on top of each other. That last one from Martial Arachnids I could actually read, though I read a bit of it. but all the single line text. Satan is my daddy. Not quite a question, but I appreciate that it went right to the top of the queue. I don't know if I don't have anything really very pertinent to Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball Z in the room at the moment as we look for the biggest. I mean, there might be some Dynasties Grantii eggs in here, so I guess technically that's the biggest. The biggest beetle would be any of the Grantii that are in here. Again, I'll just constantly apologize this whole time about how I cannot read chats because it's all getting layered on top of each other. Because of whatever's going on with the chat. All I can read is super chats. So, Borang Mango. This is the laying container for the Dynasties Grantii. Maybe we'll even run downstairs and grab one in a bit. Although I did just throw a mail in with a couple of female Titius I was sent from a locality. I don't have an active Titius mail. But anyways, anybody wants to know how to get Grantii to oviposit, that's an egg right there, maybe even. Right. Not that little nipple-looking thing, but that little open space might be a egg. So, yeah, anybody who's sending chats, there's a glitch. I can't read them right now. I can only read super chats, unfortunately, which sucks. But I guess that's a way to, if you want to see anything particular. Otherwise, I'm just gonna flight a fancy. We're gonna go around and look at stuff. Let's because we're right here. Let's take a look at this Entomobria Gracio Oliveda enclosure. This really sucks. I was really hoping to read. Kyle can only read paid subscriber chats. Kyle can only, and not even because he wants to only read those ones, because Kyle, this glitch, you know what, maybe, let's see what this little ... option is. Enable flash, save highlight, mute microphone. Okay, that's not going to help us. I wonder, let me try switching the camera around. You guys can see my ugly mug for a second and get blinded. Maybe that'll fix it. Nope, that's not doing anything. Tip the Roach man, Orang Mango, I appreciate that. Again, it seems the only things I can do, can I pull up chats separately? Live chat messages are visible, hide all chat messages. None. Okay, let me see, I just, no, that didn't fix it either. I'm trying live chat messages are visible. I'm trying all kinds of things. Top chat messages are visible. It's not getting rid of the text glitch that's going on. All I can see is super chats. It's like layering up all the previous chats. So I just see like those cursed creepypastas where like the text is all like distorted and stuff. That's what all the chats look like with the text layered on top of each other. I'm gonna get a picture and I'm gonna screenshot and I'm gonna show that off in the Discord later in case anybody's not believing me. I don't see why anybody wouldn't, but just so you guys know, I would love to actually respond to chats, but I can't physically see them other than super chats. So I'm just gonna go around and do what I want. We got some Entomobria Gracio Oliveda here. I'm gonna breathe on them. That's my funnest thing. One of the funnest things to do with springtail cultures. There we go. That's kind of worthy of the rave filter. I'm gonna have some fun with the dance filter there. It's actually a lot of fun, surprising. Very, very amusing. Now, here's something that may not be so amusing to some. We're going to turn that dance party off for a second here. There was a predatory mite on my hand, but they're in like all of these cultures and they're not doing anything to the springtails. So, but yeah, you can see him just eating the fish flakes there. These were from U of M Dearborn last year, the year before. It was a find under a log right outside the Interpretive Center building when Brandon and I got permission to go collect there at night. So I really like them. You can also see the how this underlay setup works, where I just kind of take this and I flop it on there, and then this crimps down over the top of it. It works pretty well. Also, making sure the sides are clean is pretty important. I don't want to look at the Dicertoma. Let's look at some of these cultures that Ryan sent me from, is it Springtails US? I'm really having some fun. This is turning into a Springtail live stream now, but there's a lot of stuff in here. I don't know how long we're going to go for until I decide to stop, because I got a bunch of orders to pack and ship tomorrow. So, this is Onychiurinae. These are the little root-feeding soil springtails, the tiny whites, and it's a nice culture. Looks pretty good. Now, why am I not seeing any chats? Okay. Oh, Lord, I just pressed it again. They all came up all bastardized. That's all right. Yeah. Wow, that's horrific. It's actually even combining, like, mashing up people's avatars. It's horrible. So, anyways, yeah, little root springtails. I wonder how close can I get? You might be able to see them nice, pretty fair quality there. Pretty neat things. I had these a while ago, long enough to put them on Roach Crossing, lost the colony, and then Rin obviously got them and was able to send me some nice restarts. Very kind. This is a Dicertoma fusca that Will and I collected on Friday. Kind of wary of opening this because I don't want them to get out and I don't want to contaminate them, but oh well. I only caught like 5 of them, and we'll be lucky if we even find them. Something Aranavega Floridana logo. Actually, I went to start this live stream and I was in the bathroom. I was on the toilet, and I think it said that it was about to start it, and I panicked because the camera was turned to my face, and I was like, oh Lord. And I said, like, you want to abandon the stream? It's like, yeah. So like barely had it up for like a millisecond, and I noped out of there. So saved everybody from that. Let's see if they were under this leaf earlier today, so let's see if they're there. Yeah, you can kind of see them. Yeah, you can see them a bit. I don't think that's all of them. I think there's a couple more. So we're going to see if the clay setup works for them. I'm actually pretty hopeful. I've been skeptical of the clay setup, but I think it's probably going to work for the Dicertoma. Let's see, it's another one. Let's take a look at... Rin renamed these. They were like, I can't remember, yellow albino, and now he's calling them Ceratophycella species lilac, yellow, or like yellow morph. So, to avoid confusion, but this is really cool. The world's first cultivar of springtail, I think. Kind of wondering, is it smart to show the original species next to it? And then I remember the original culture is still throwing some yellows that haven't been isolated, so it's like, whatever. Doing it all one-handed too. These containers are kind of a nightmare for that. Yeah, I've actually been hilariously, I've been calling yellows out of the regular culture just to keep the wild phenotype going strong. But there you go. So there's a wild type there, and there's the Rin's hard work, the yellow cultivar. Really cool. So you can actually have like a rainbow of springtails now of different species. You could get like the Lobella species Thai, I think it was. And then the Euchionura aphoroides. Take a look at one of the bigger cultures of, here's the Lobellas, the Thai Reds. I just got a restart of these from Stella's Springtails over the weekend. They're doing pretty well. They, itchy nose. They were eating dog food and thriving for me last year. And now eating dog food and hopefully thrive again this winter. I don't know why they crashed exactly, honestly. Let's see. Good look at the... Now chat is just completely disappeared. It's very weird. Let's see top chat does anything. Show chat. Still messed up. Such a shame. Of course, I go to do something fun and this happens. But let's look at the Orchicella villosa here. Again, anybody who's joining us, I can't see chats. They come through as a garbled, glitched out mess. I can only see super chats, unfortunately. So, but here's Orcacella villosa, the woolly mammoth springtails. Doing really well. You can see it's really dry over here, and they're just hanging out, eating fish flakes. And you can also, interestingly, you can see the, probably see the predatory mites or whatever in here that are eating like grain mites and stuff. And they don't affect the springtail population. Let's go to my favorite effect here as I blow on the culture. You can see just how many of these, I love that effect so much. The Orcacella villosa are hanging out in here. I've had this culture going since February or March or something like that. I had to do a restart, and I don't think I'm going to lose them ever again. So Eurocantha hanging out over there. Just having a good old time looking at bugs and not being able to see people's chats. I apologize profusely for that, and I will continue to apologize. So, Orang Mango did want to see a big beetle. Again, finding a big beetle in this room is kind of a difficult task right now because the biggest, so you got those Grantii eggs and Euphoria monticola, but they're larvae, so they're not really fun to look at, but maybe we'll sneak downstairs and grab a Grantii out of the breeding bin if it's out. Mantid cubes, zealous longipes, assassin bugs in the cube, eating just fruit flies. Speaking of fruit flies, there's a bit of the wild type Melanogaster cruising around right now. And I'm trying to think, there was one specific container they all came from. Oh yes, it was this higher humidity 40 oica setup that I'm trying out, and with cardboard, and it's working pretty well. They're doing pretty well like this compared to the bark and more ventilated setup. This is the 40 oica species Ecuador, but it's just these little vent holes, and I didn't remove the old piece of apple that was in here. That's a fresh one. I finally changed it when all the fruit flies started emerging. So this is the culprit bin for the room fruit fly problems at the moment, but it's whatever because they're so cool. I just want to get them doing better overall. Got Eucharidia, a lot of those are nymphs right now. Derapeltis, we had a hatch, which is funny because, yep, you can see there's a little nymph hanging out right there. Right there. A poop up there as well. This is funny because I think it was Adam Hakisa 1 is the person who's supposed to get a culture of these from the auction, and they were shipping when they hatch, or they were shipping when available. And right before I shipped out, there's a female with an there she goes. Yeah, of course they all hatch when right after I've shipped the box. Pseudomops culture, dry at the front, moist at the back, from Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's pretty nice. We like that. Nocticola, Malaysia. This isn't the main culture. This is a satellite. I gotta update that label too. That's an old one. Doesn't even have the state. Oklahoma City where, huh? But yeah, should be the western ones from like Texas and Oklahoma are Libetoides sayi, and then the ones people are more familiar with from the east are Libetoides albolineatus, and I think that ornatus is now Libetoides too. So lots of confusion we're seeing resolved in the last couple of years. You got the Toby, they need to update that to Blatellity species in Malaysia. Love those things, great feeders. And then we come on down to Taphiliska. Oh, guys, I don't know if I can get it to focus. This is huge. That female Taphiliska is ovipositing in the cork bark. Again, I'm going to try and get it to focus however I can. Maybe I'll have to get closer. But she's, oh, there's a little peephole. She's ovipositing in the cork bark and not in the sand. Guys, that's huge. I don't even think this has been recorded for this species. Like, nobody knows where they oviposit. Like, that oviposit's such a generic... Ovipositor is such a generic shape. Like, that could be soil laying or plant tissue laying. But yeah, apparently they'll do it in cork bark. That's huge. That's huge information. So that means probably don't even have to do this. Although I do know they lay in soil too, because of that egg cup that I pulled the nymphs hatch from the first time I tried them. But maybe their preference is like they're just looking for any sort of... Like, she's trying again. She's trying to find a place for it again. Over there. Maybe they'll just lay in any sort of soft material. So, but yeah, anyways, yeah, Taphiliska, guys. Amazing. I look forward to commercializing these further because they are awesome pets. They don't make any noise either. You can see them just hanging out all night. That's all they do is just come out and chill. There's a nymph in the food cup too. On a diet of fish flakes, and the jelly they're not really touching right now, so the surface is molded over. Time for my every 5 minutes apology for not being able to see chats. There's a glitch. I can't see chats right now other than super chats, unfortunately. And that's not a ploy. That's just how it is. It's really, really screwy. Especially on a night when I'm doing something special like this. Let me just keep looking right here. Here's some special... That's misspelled. There's supposed to be another T there. It's supposed to be some... It's supposed to be a T there. It's this special locality of Uricotis floridana. But then we get in real nice and close here. So we're getting real nice and close. You might have to flip this around to see them all. But this is actually where my Venezuela colony is, and there's a bunch in here. There's like hundreds. You can see just one on the side there. Uricotis getting a little high density after I think the group of these for the auction is going out this week. You can see a Venezuela over there as well. I think the group of these is going out this week, but they actually, yeah, they're quite uncomfortable in here. They need a bit of a call. So, and by call I mean sending off to somebody, but this is how I keep those in Venezuela Pisum. Again, they're best buddies. Pisum are at just ridiculous numbers in there. Melanozosteria, a couple of them out. Pyralis moth in there, of course, that's fun. Let's see who else. What was I going to look into? So I was playing with last night that made me think that I wanted to do this stream yesterday, but I'm doing it today. This is, I gotta be careful. This is Parcoblata pennsylvanica from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and this is like my colony restarting in here. I gotta be careful the adults don't get out because I don't have a barrier on here. And there's the adult male. You need to go into horny jail, my friend. There we go. All right. And make sure that more important than the adult male, make sure the adult female doesn't get out. But this is also where my F1 ultimate selection pair of Gramphidorina portentosa kings are. And I got one on my hand. I got to try and... the style of streaming does not lend itself well to multitasking. I have the male on my hand, and then the best female I have under here. I'm gonna get her caught. Put them both on one hand so we can just admire the girth. I guess we can look at this Pennsylvanica female too. This might not actually be Pennsylvanica Island. I think this is probably a different species. It's very similar morphologically to Pennsylvanica. So now I gotta reorient them on my hand to show the size. Sorry everybody, it's a wild ride. But yeah, this is the King Project. And you know, they look even bigger on the stream thing. Like seeing them in real life, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's a big cockroach. And now like looking at them on my hands on the stream, it's just like those are huge. So these are both recently matured too. This is again the F1 pair. I had the male living in here since he was a sub-adult because he was the biggest of the whole cohort. So I pulled him really early to make sure nothing bad happened, just in case, because he was the size of his sub-adult size was the size of the adults, the other adult males that matured, and then this is the biggest female too. So I'm gonna tuck it under my belt that by the time that I pass on my mortal coil, which hopefully isn't anytime soon, I'm gonna try and breed these to be as big as I can on my hand. But it would be cool if I could get them to be from my middle fingertip all the way to the end of my hand. It's never been done before, so who knows if you can even do it. I don't believe any of that stuff about bugs, they don't get big because the oxygen and the brain and they need it to get the big and the carboniferous. I don't believe any of that because coconut crabs exist. Life finds a way, but I'm pretty sure that I could get at least an inch and a half on this by the time that I die, at least. But hopefully more. More would be... Oh, look at that. That's so romantic. This would be a good thumbnail right there. Right there. The king and the queen from the king line. So, yeah. Again, can't read chats. There's a glitch right now, but I'm imagining some people are like, those are some big bugs. And if you're saying that, I'm going to say with you, yeah, they're pretty big, even for hissers. Not the biggest I've seen. I had a male oblonginoda a long time ago that was measured out to 4.5 inches, I think, but oblonginoda are a bit more finicky than portentous. So this is pure Cleveland stock also, and very hardy, very easy to work with. So I'm gonna keep upbreeding this stock. It's a good project, I think. So now the fun part is getting them off of my hand and back into here. Also, I'm going to move them to their nuptial enclosure pretty soon. I've just been so busy, and the Parcoblata seem to be benefiting from them being in here. They're probably eating the hisser and getting some bacteria or something from it, or it's pre-digested, and they like that, you know. I'm also starting to think maybe I should have done this in regular camera mode style and not however I did it, but oh well. Some fruit fly cultures that are just coming to fruition now. These are some fresh ones here. There we go. Say hello to our resident cellar spider. Man, I wish I could read the chats, guys, so bad. So I was really hoping there'd be like 5 people up and they'd be chatting me a lot. Instead, we've got like 22 people in here. Wow, incredible. What am I opening? It's Parcoblata notha from up near it says Paradise, Arizona. It's from up near the Southwest Research Station up in the Chiricahuas. I'm so glad when I dropped that I didn't hit the power. That would have been so sad. But yeah, Parcoblata notha doing really well. Yeah, there we go. There we go. This is what we're all about. Look at them all. So happy. So happy. I wish I could go back in time 2 years and 2 months and tell past Kyle that it was a smart move to collect the single pair of nymphs and send them to Alan, because they're really going now. It's really good to have nice locality stock. And the hobby stock's fine too. Tip the Roach man, going to be less able to connect with individual fans. Something I couldn't see. The only part of that message I could see was the second sentence. Actually, guys, you might be able to get around the weird text glitch if you type out like a sentence worth of text and then like put a bunch of spaces and then type the rest. Because it seems like I can read the second line of text when somebody writes something that's like 2 lines full of text. So I don't know, that might work, might be a workaround. I don't feel like managing the chaos of the Platyarthros Hoffman Zegii enclosure right now. White tigers, not much going on in there. Trichorhina donaldsoni, though. There's a couple of nymphs that popped up in there. We got the Mescalero sand dune Jerusalem crickets that aren't even out, and they're always in their burrows. I might getting kind of annoyed with them. I might take them out and put them in smaller enclosures and then try to pair them. View message. It wouldn't let me view message. Just great. Again, apologies everybody. But you can look at the Labrador riparia butt right there. That's the back end you're looking at of a Labrador riparia earwig. You just set them up in that larger setup. I thought I had a lone female for like a couple weeks, and it turns out it was a lone male because I just got another. I got a female, and the forceps are tiny and straight. These are gigantic. Kyle workaround system. Nope, it's still screwy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna keep apologizing profusely. Let's look at some Hemipterosaurus paleata here. There's a bunch more in there than you can see. For every couple that you see, there's like a bunch more that you. Well, I could open up. This is a pretty low risk enclosure to open up and check out because I do have a barrier on this one. There we go. Hemipterosaurus paleata. There we go. Get them all nice and worked up. Severia, kind restart of these from Chain. So I have, this is actually straight up the colony that he sent me. And then I actually have mine that I just took a couple males out of this one and tossed in with my colony that only had females. Somebody's commenting about P. Hoffmannsegii, Platyarthurus Hoffmannsegii being kind of difficult. They've just been breeding kind of slowly for me. I only collected them back in, I think it was August. But I had enough to put up at the auction. And my trick I'm trying with them is I have roaches in with them. So, and roaches of various sizes. You got some lobsters and then some sort of Blabrus discoidalis. I won't take them out of here once they've been put in. You know, they'll be feeders if I ever need to get rid of the Blabrus that are in here. But then a couple of Entomobria Griceolivata got collected with the Platyarthurus, and from like 3 individuals, they've just infested the bin. Like it's really infestation level inside that bin right now. It's pretty crazy. So, Parcoblata zebra from Montgomery, flea market, Montgomery. Get it nice and close there. Oh, there's a couple of them up front there. Messed up male. I think here's the female. Oh yeah, there we go. It's a nice shot of a Parcoblata zebra female. Sister species to Divisa, I'm pretty sure. Let's check on, this is I was gonna talk about this on live stream, I forgot. This is new stuff for Kyle, stuff I've never had before, stuff that I was really excited about. This is, and looks like one of them crawled right over looks like 2 of them have crawled right over the barrier. Cool. Alright, well that's a lesson to be learned. Don't know how they did that, but at least they can't get out of the enclosure. This is a Thorax porcellana. This is the vampire cockroach, where the babies for, I think it's the first 2 instars, maybe it's just the first instar, feed on the hemolymph on the back of the mother, and she keeps them underneath her wings. I got these from Brandon Maines, and first time having them, so I could don't take this setup to heart. This could end up being like a lethal setup. They could all be dead in a week for all I know. Oh, there's an adult. And they're a lot smaller than I thought they'd be, but also a lot cuter in person. That's an adult male. You can see a couple of fungus gnats that found this enclosure. And I don't really have a good population of the road beetles in this room. They're mostly in the basement. So I don't really care about fungus gnats that much. If they got too annoying, I would just toss some of the beetles in here. But I don't know where all the thorax are. Oh, there's a nymph over there. So, oh, there's a couple of them right on top of there too. Pleasant little epilamprine roaches. I'm excited to see the moms with babies. They've been getting a daily misting in here. Seems to be the kind of setup they want. Brandon did say they seem to like hiding in dry leaf litter like this. So, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do. I don't think I've lost any so far, so that's good. I'm going to put the camera down completely to put this lid back on. Sorry, everybody. Oh, I messed up the lid. Very important we put the lid back on. Multiple fail-safes. Multiple fail-safes on everything. It's the way to live. Okay. Blackhouse stream over. Pseudoglomerus. Don't think they want to come out. Don't seem to be out right now. Euthalastoblata species, Everglades, Florida. There's an adult. This is actually the old culture. I have the new culture over here, which has some spare male hissers of the giants tossed in with it. And they seem to be doing better in this drier setup. We've got the Hurricane Utah silverfish right there. See how close we can get without compromising the image quality. Try rebooting. Okay, I see that one. The problem is if I reboot, I will lose the stream, and I don't want to do that. So I have to deal with the glitch if I want to keep this particular stream going. Unfortunately, hopefully by next time YouTube will have this issue worked out, but you know, it's always something new every time. Euthalastoblata diaphana up there, very happy, as you can see, lots of adults, lots of nymphs. Oh, look at all those nymphs. This is a fun thing about looking at bugs in the bug room at night. Usually everything's out. Loboptera decipiens, another happy colony. This is the Princessia van Wierenbecki androhamana culture. And they haven't done anything. I actually tossed some. Can you show Plectoptera powii culture? Yes, I can. That's weird. It's not even showing the super chats now. But let's celebrate their third super on a live stream. How do I do that? It says celebrate. Does that mean I have to do the celebration manually? We can look at that. Let's put the top of the list. I will just say one thing about the Dipteropterum here. There's probably thousands of them in this enclosure. And I have had a couple of them. I think they die and then this entomophagus fungus takes over the corpses. But again, there's literally thousands of them in this enclosure, so it's bound to happen. But yeah, let's take a quick look at these Neoblatella or CF Neoblatella species from Miramar, Florida. Just a Neoblatella. Lots of babies. Still some corpses from when I didn't almost kill the colony. I just killed off like a third of it a couple of months ago when I didn't water soon enough. But let's look at the Plectoptera and also some other stuff that might be over here. Plectoptera powii. Let's do a nice in-depth look here. So we got moist substrate over here, dry substrate over here, but for the winter, I'm going to aim to keep this whole thing a lot more moist because last winter they just kind of stuck around and they didn't do too much breeding, whereas TJ and Brandon had really good, they were at infestation levels in the bin during the winter last year, but I think they had restricted ventilation. But then spring, summer came and the cultures crashed, and now both of them need to get them back from me. But I kept them well ventilated through the summer, and I had a bunch of nymphs pop up. You know, there's probably like 200 in here now. It's not crazy. Like, we might look at the Neoblatella, and that's a whole other thing. So But this paper towel, I can't remember if that came with them or if I put. Oh look, mating couple right there. Can't remember if that came with them or if I added it separately. But I've devised an ingenious way of keeping the food kind of fresh. This I don't care about so much. They eat the jelly, but like that mold will it'll disappear and they'll eat around it. They don't really care about it. So I put the fish flakes and the dog food on the paper towel, so when I miss this enclosure, it wicks up the water and it gets it moist, but then it also dries out really fast so it doesn't get super moldy. Because again, they'll eat through this because there's hydration underneath it, but if like something's moldy and it gets dry, they won't be as inclined to eat it. So yeah, so you can keep them with less ventilation during the winter. Seems to be what people do, or a dry room with high airflow. But you'll get a crash when the humidity and stuff goes up. But yeah, there's a good number of them in here now. I don't think I'm going to lose this culture ever. I keep a close eye on it because of how rare they are, and you can see I scribbled on Big Pine Key on there. I will eventually replace the whole label. It'll get its nice fancy full descriptor label soon enough. So that's Plectoptera poii. Again, TJ and or Brandon had them at infestation levels. They're not really at that in there. I also I would open it up, but there also isn't a barrier on this because they're so tiny. I've noticed a lot of them get stuck in it, the adults, and so I was trying to. Is there a barrier? And it's old. It's an old barrier. So I didn't want to lose more of them than I needed to, so I didn't do anything extra special. Bancho robusta, a lot of them along the front there. Maybe we'll look at those in a sec. We'll go look at the Neoblatella over here, where it is infestation level. There's just so many of them in there. So many tiny ones especially. Just like grains of sand. Okay, anybody wants to see any other cultures? There's Dinocyrus, there's one up at the top, the pseudoscorpions. Anybody wants to see a particular culture? Again, I hate to do this, but you may have to super chat, even if it's a really small amount, so that I can actually see it and get to it. German roaches. I'm gonna look at German roaches. Let's take a look at Margetia. It's a lot of Baltavirus. These guys have really gone crazy in there too. Could look at a good Aranavega. Good combo Aranavega. Let's look at the combo Aranavega Venezillo Arizona Kiss over here. That's a good one. And then maybe we'll look at species Florida Canyon or something like that after. But this is good because it's a nice little communal of three things. There's actually a Paraplaneta lateralis female that there's an adult male. Wow, that's actually quite pretty. And just out and about. Aranavega species Sahuarita. I don't know if TJ's here. There's the male for species Sahuarita. Again, quite pretty. There's a single female Paraplaneta lateralis in here from when I originally collected all this stuff. And she's been laying ooths. I'm really hoping that some of them might be fertile and hatch a long time from now. That'd be cool to have a parthenogenetic strain of lateralis. But you can see all the Venezillo Arizonicus running around. And lift this up. There's going to be a lot more under here too. Again, very happy, healthy colony of Arizonicus. We go poking around a little more. We'll see the Aranavega. Everybody just hanging out, singing Kumbaya. Like there's even more. You look closer, there's even more Arizonicus down there. And the back is usually a bit more moist. So there'll be more Aranavega on the drier area over here. Wow, they've eaten through so much of the fish flakes that I just added. A couple of nymphs. Other adult male right there. Can I put that there and just... Yeah, we'll have good lighting. The ground is alive. The ground is alive with the sound of sand roaches. So, What's the good focusing distance here? Up close better maybe? Again, it's weird lighting. People don't usually film under this kind of lighting in this kind of way, but you can see there's a lot of sand roaches in here. Almost at infestation level, I would say, which is nice. You love to see it. It's around this apple piece here. Gotta find it. Species CF10X or species Animas is probably kicking right now. Maybe Cave Creek Canyons too. Oh, or Boliana. Boliana from McAllen, there's probably a lot of activity in there. Oh, we one-hand that. Heavy from sand. One hand the Desert Museum one, heavy from sand. And we'll just take a quick moment to say hi to our Blatellini species shaman. It's the brown penguin roaches. Those guys are doing really well. Anybody who's just joining us, I can't see regular chats. There's a glitch, so you have to super chat if you want me to show something very specific. Balta, new thing, Tagloblata, species Okinawa, and Princessia van Riebeckii, black and white. Just a grow out container for the Princessia. Glauterix, Gemma, Key Largo, Florida. I should not have put so much substrate in there. I want this like an inch down, but the thing's all expanded, so maybe in 2 months, if my life slows down, I'll go through and actually reset them up again for the second time this year, so I can get to them more easily. A lot of Carablata minima, nymphs all over the place. Parcoblata CF americana from Table Rock Mountain. More Divisa. Gotta love your Parcoblatas. Look at these Boliana here. This Boliana should be very dense population. Now, I was a dummy and I didn't sterilize some leaves in late winter, so there's a colony of Armadillidium vulgare in here too, just from out in the front yard. But I imagine they're going to get out competed this winter with how dry things will probably get. But to see them living in abundant harmony here. Again, very alive substrate. Lots of nymphs of various sizes. There was actually 150, 200 more, but a certain Dr. Humroyd has a obsession with this particular strain of Boliana, and so it's funny. I think most of the colony is actually with him right now, which is funny. But yeah, adult male, adult females. Hey, lady. So, key with Boliana seems to be just having oak leaves, or just having good hardwood leaf litter seems to be the key. It's probably something to do with their digestive health. They eat all that other stuff too, like all the other typical roach food, but I think they might need the fiber from the leaves to like keep their GI moving in a good manner. Oh, let's look at the Polino. Let's look at these Derapeltis, because I packed some up, and I know that there's a bunch of them in here. There's also a bunch of Pyralis in here. We might get there goes an adult. But the roaches don't seem to care. It's a dead one, rip. It's okay, because it doesn't matter if we lost one adult, because we have a ton of babus and bobos in here. Lots and lots of babus and bobos. So, it's springtails. So I feel like Derapeltis might be on a year cycle. I feel, because I think it was this time last year where I got a huge hatch of babies, and I can't remember if I had babies before or after. Again, smaller Dipteretrum culture over there. We can look at the newly refurbished Neostylopyga. I haven't even put the label back onto it. Neostylopyga rhombifolia from China, and a species I am now recommending. You just have to smother with humidity. You can see the Roach rave going on in the back there. We'll get the Roach rave effect going on. I love, guys, I love this effect. It's a guilty pleasure now. But yeah, there's a lot of them back there. And this is just like half the culture. I split them up the other day. So glad that I think I figured them out finally. Hemithyrsospora vittata, co-housed with Corycinura parishii, which I did not know about until whenever Tennyson said, "Hey, did you know there's Corycinura in with your Hemithyrsospora you sent me?" And I was like, I'll check. But I'm okay with that actually, because parishii is kind of hard to keep going, and they're just doing their own thing in here. They're not affecting the vittata, so I just ignore it. And we're getting at the time of year where the vittata is going to start having a huge hatch. It started a couple of weeks ago, but if all goes according to plan, there should be a lot more babies popping up soon. We'll go back to the Portentosa Massola with some Blabrus atropos from the Wynwood neighborhood in Florida. This is this is part of that Shinigami project. I'm trying to see if it's genetic or if the hot, dry conditions of this bin will undo the pronotum selection that I've done. And it seems like it might for males, but not for females. So it's probably about 1,000 Massola in this bin. We're gonna be intrusive. We're gonna put this ICU cricket cage aside, and we're gonna be intrusive with the Grophodorina Portentosa Massola. Take a look. See here. This is a piece of cork I just put in a couple of days ago. It's already covered. Whoa. See what's going on underneath there? Yeah. This is just the big ones that have been pushed out of all the smaller hiding spots. Again, there's probably about 1,000 or maybe even 2,000 in here. Roaches are very deceiving. Anybody who's going to be doing the auctions in the future, you may see a 100 count of something and get intimidated and not realize that 100 can fit in a tiny deli cup, even if it's a larger species. So, Margatia CF bisignata. I think these have been fully identified as bisignata now. I'm not 100% sure. A lot of these ectobioidy roaches, just like these same setups, a lot of the quar chunks and then a basal substrate, and then sort of keep them dry. It is moist on the other end, but it's mostly dry up at the front. Eulastoblata abortiva. Definitely need to redo that enclosure. They're having tons of babies. You can see them on the food. But they're very cramped in there, and their waste and stuff is building up. So probably on the chopping block for an enclosure refresh in a month or two. Some Project Portentosa. Let's look at the Nocticola from Florida, or Nocticolidae from Florida. We'll know after the genetic work comes back from Japan. So again, sorry guys, can't read chats, blah blah blah. There's a glitch, can't read them. I can read super chats though. So, haha. Anyways, Nocticola species Florida. I think it's I have the information written down from Alan. It's another label that needs to be updated. But a drier, tolerant, or even preferring Nocticola, and a little different colored than the species Malaysia. Again, here's another random hisser. This is a LLE mahogany. It's a spare female, backup female. But definitely prefer drier conditions than the species Malaysia, or will tolerate drier conditions. Look at them all. Look at them all. You'll love to see it. So happy. And probably parthenogenetic too. Males don't seem to be do not seem to be produced, because usually male Nocticola are winged, so probably parthenogenetic. Look at them all. Look at them all. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful biotechnology is what we call that. And then, of course, the Malaysias are, we saw the one culture of them. Here's the other one. They're a bit further down in the substrate, although still dwelling in all parts there. Humidity is still pretty high in here. So anybody, here's your chance. If you want a super chat to see something that is or may be in this room, now is your chance to do that, because I think I'm going to wrap things up pretty soon. Again, I would have loved to just show off anything that anybody asked for, but this glitch prevents me from seeing the chats, so I have to just go with whoever super chatted something. We do still need to see some a big beetle, so I might run downstairs and might see if I can pull a Dynasty's Grand TI out of somewhere. Do I have Tinius accessible? I have actually I have a pretty big beetle. It's pretty accessible, so we'll probably do a quick run down there for that. Just trying to decide which of these guys we want to do. Who's gonna put on a good show? Where's the Animas? Species Animas, New Mexico. So this is the we're calling them 10x. They may not be 10x. It's in flux. Lots of babies right now hatching out. To do a little bit more digging around for some larger individuals. But again, you look at this enclosure and you see what you see, and don't maybe not internalize that there may be 200 roaches in here, but because they're all buried and you're not seeing them all at once and blah blah blah, every time you move something they're shifting around. It doesn't really look like that much, although this is lots of babies, not quite the razzle dazzle I was going for. Maybe species Florida Canyon might give us a little. You step back and look at it, there's a lot of babies moving around, but maybe species Florida Canyon will give us a little bit more of what the oomph that I want. We could look at the Parkablata Booleana. We should do that because Booleana needs more love. Could look at this culture, and they're a bit active right now. Ah, yeah. Parkablata Booleana again. 100, 200 roaches in here. We'll open it up. Crack into a cold one. Crack into a boy with the cold ones here. So Booleana, Parkablata Booleana, kind of a thorn in a lot of our sides, getting multi-generations, but really big thing was seeing their wild habitat, which is just the leaf litter. So there's the one place where Alan was finding them. It's like a invasive bamboo forest thing, and you kind of find them at really low densities there, like one every 10 to 15 minutes if you're lucky. But then you go into like this higher quality music forest, like oak hickory, etc. You know, it's got like the what was it, the skunk palmettos, the zephyranthes, and violets, and just your whole spring hoo-ha assemblage, and really high biodiversity of native stuff of all sorts. And then they're out in leaf litter, just hanging out. So I finally incorporated a good degree of that into the setup, and with the moisture as well. But that's what this leaf pile is back here, and they're doing super well, as you can see. So I think I've got these guys figured out now too. Zebra is a floodplain, like actual floodplain species, it seems, where the ground is like moist clay and there's wet piles of leaves, and that's where you find zebra. So that's kind of their shtick. Divisas on drier standing alive or dead trees, Latas in like on live pine or dead pine, Virginicas on dead pretty much anything. So we're gonna look, hopefully these Aranavega species Florida Canyon will be a little bit more of the sensory experience I was hoping for. Maybe. Can I recall? I thought there were more big ones in here. Yeah, it's a touch more active. Actually a bit dry in here. Yeah, there's a good number of them. My precious Aaron the Vega. Oh, the ridiculous things I have gone to, the ridiculous lengths I have gone to acquire you. Very ridiculous. Yeah, it's a good healthy culture. Try and grab for the bottom, see if I can get a handful of gold here. Oh, yeah, maybe. There we go. Oh, that endorphin rush. You reach into a burrow and you pull this out, you get all those good brain candy chemicals on auto release. You put your hand into a burrow and you pull this out. Look at that. What a great spread. An adult female and a bunch of subadultish nymphs. Nothing like it, guys. You can't buy drugs that give you that brain feeling. You can't. They just don't make them. It is out of this world. I guess dryness level's fine because I didn't realize how moist it was over here. Look at that female. Oh, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. Where's this Florida Canyon? Yes, this is grassland where you find Venezuela, Arizonicus, and Eleotes, a bunch of other fun stuff out there. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty bug. Love the contrast of the yellow between the segments with the maroon of the body on that one. So an adult male makes an appearance too. Graces us with his presence. Cool, cool. So, was there another species I was going to show off? Or was I going to wrap it up there? I don't know. But it's getting late. And just as we're getting into the whimsy, guys. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do this again. So, oh, we gotta get a Rang Mango his beetle. We'll go find something fun downstairs to wrap things up. We'll go find something fun. So, all right. Anybody who's joining us, we are actually going to be wrapping up soon. Oh, the dogs are in the house. Surprise, surprise. We're going to actually be wrapping up soon, but we got to get a big beetle for a Rang Mango to look at as we go into here. So we are now in the basement, and I have the perfect beetle for us to look at. If I can get the lid off the enclosure, I have to use my teeth. This was poorly thought out when I put this lid on. Oh, of course, it's going to be difficult. All right, I'm going to set this down here because I got to get this thing off. We have what might be one of the world's wimpiest Japanese rhinoceros beetles. This is Tropoxylus dichotomous. This is my first attempt rearing this species from larvae, and successful in that I did get adults, but not the biggest adults. This guy is pretty vicious though. He's pinched me a couple of times. So yeah, there's show big beetle. Here it is, the tiny Japanese rhinoceros beetle. But a female did a close with him. So, and I'm pretty sure that they've already paired. I'm gonna keep them separate, put the female in a laying enclosure for about a week, and then depending on, I think a friend told me the females don't retain sperm or use it up pretty quickly, so then I'll put them back in the pairing enclosure for a couple days and just sort of repeat the process and try to get a good number of them going. Just things to do on the work table here. Got to put those away tomorrow. Blabberus parabolicus from the old hobby stock. A lot of things going on here constantly. So, yeah, so this has been fun, guys. I'm gonna try and do this more often. No promises, but should the spark overtake me, I would love to do this again. Maybe we'll check in with stuff upstairs or what have you. But yeah, I hope everybody got a kick out of this. I appreciate the super chats greatly, and hopefully next time I can see all the chats so I can be a little bit more directly responsive with things and show off some specific stuff that people want. I'm gonna, when I go through and look through the chats when I'm done here, I'm gonna be like, oh man, look at all this stuff that I missed. So, but anyways, yeah, thanks for joining me, everybody, on this Sunday night. Get up early for work tomorrow. And people who are getting their auction orders this week, thank you for your patience and for your patronage. So until I see you all again on Thursday for the Roach Wiggle, may your cultures ever be bountiful.